because you are my glory, and I'm not going to share you with anybody else. So the angel asked the question, what is this man that's just so concerned about him? I want to stop by to tell you this morning as we enter into this time of worship and praise. I want you to be encouraged to know that you and I are the glory of God. You may say, but Pastor, I don't feel like it sometimes. That's all right. You're still His glory. You may say, well, I missed the mark. I've got some things going on. Don't worry about it. You and I, the Bible says that the angels ask, what is a man? What is that man? That woman that you care so much about them, that you crown them with glory and honor. Father, this morning we're grateful that, men, I want to say to the brothers and to the sisters too, because you don't need this, but particularly to the brothers, at least for the next couple of weeks, I want you to be in the house of the Lord. It's important that you get this word. That we begin to focus our attention on the men, then we're going to focus on the women, we're going to focus on the children, we're going to focus on the single man, single woman, amen, and all those things that go with being part of God's creation and what He's called us to do. But I want you to be in the house, amen, and make it a priority to be in the house of the Lord. Amen? Amen. Amen. So, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 28. I want you to turn there. But just before you do that, while you get that, I want you to, everybody, is everybody settled? About the foundation of the man. The foundation of the man. Talked about earlier about the first institution that God put in place was not the church. Although there will be many people that try to make us think that church should become our world and church should become everything. In fact, there is a recent study that shows that church attendance is declining, particularly in our country. Used to be that we were known as a Christian nation. We were up there in the high 90s. Now we're down in the low 80s because religion, faith, now is not becoming a viable option, particularly to this millennial generation. This generation now are making all kinds of choices and all kinds of things. I was talking to a gentleman at my work not too long ago. Guy had to be my supervisor, believe it or not. I'm 25 years his senior, and he's my supervisor. And I was, wow, time has changed. There was a time when I would have a complex with that, but now I recognize that I'm the senior in the room, and these young people, look to me for guidance and direction, spending time. I mean, this generation is, they're guided by their phones. And we kind of got this. And I was talking to my supervisor. He was something I was sharing with him. I said, Mr. Kevin, me and my wife just had this conversation about these phones and how y'all think about how y'all emotions. And this is what he said to me. He says, Frank, we don't need emotions. We have emojis. You know what the emojis are? You got those phones, those are little smiley faces and all those kind of things they have on there. And so basically, when I want to communicate, if I'm mad, I send you an emoji mad. If I'm happy, I send you an emoji happy. If I'm angry or whatever, this is how we communicate. Without understanding that is not how God intended us to communicate. Yeah. And my wife always said that you don't know the person's tone or their emotion behind the text. But that's this generation that we live in, and this is how they communicate. So as I look at them, I say, God help us, God help us, God help us to get back on track. So we talk about the foundation of the man. In this scene that I just shown, Lee Daniels wanted to communicate through Oprah and the other actors around him that it's so important in this scenario that it's important that you understand that everything that you are, everything that you will be, everything that you will become is because of this man. And in here we see themes that I want to talk about. The themes, all kind of themes in this music, in this movie, and all kind of themes in this scene. before I go there, I want to go back to this point that God's original intention, or God's original intent was not the church. His original intent, or the first institution, was the family. And God wanted to make sure that the family is intact and that the family has its perspective and the family has its rightful place. And God said to Israel, this is what he said to them in the book of Deuteronomy, when Moses was given the second rendition of the law. Every time they got to a certain place or a certain place in their journey, all their way from Egypt to the promised land, from Egypt to the promised land, from the place of trial, and tribulation, and trouble, and pain, and sorrow, and suffering, from the place there to the place of blessing. I want you to mark at every strategic point. I want you to mark, and I want you to build a monument, a memorial unto the Lord. Say that when we were here, and we were there, and we couldn't make it, and we couldn't get through, I want you to build a monument and say, this memorial is set aside for the Lord. Somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
God says so. So when your children ask you, Dad, why do we have this memorial? I want you to tell them, it's because when we were in trouble, somebody say trouble. When we couldn't help ourselves, when we couldn't bring ourselves out, it was the Lord that brought us out. But we got to get back to in the family. Somebody say family. We got to get back to giving God the credit. You have a roof on your head, you can tell your kids it's because of the Lord. We got a car to drive, it's because of the Lord. We got gas in our tank, food on our table, clothes on our back. We have enough room in the budget for a dog, a fish.
Amen. Come on now.
It's because of the Lord.
Yes.
One writer said, if it had not been for the Lord, that was on my side, where would I be? So God wanted to make sure that we understood family and the importance of family. So God put you want to know how God thinks. And I've been thinking about this for a while, trying to get into the mind of the Lord in terms of why did he establish a family in the order and in the way that he did. So I led to this clip. And I like Oprah did such a great job in that scene when she smacked her son and smacked some sense into him. Now I'm not advocating violence, nor am I suggesting that anybody should go around being smacked. But what we do see here is that according to the Word of God, respect should be a priority. I'm going to say it again. According to the Word of God, respect should be a priority. And not only should respect be a priority, especially when it comes to our parents. Irregardless of what we think, or what they did or what they didn't do, that as far as God's concerned, God, respect should be a priority. In fact, in the scriptures, in the book of Numbers, young people, you will like this because you should be blessed and happy, because in the Old Testament, whenever young people were disrespectful and they acted up and disrespected their parents, God commanded that they be stoned publicly. We don't see that today. A couple of years ago, there was this kid. He was over in over one of the Philippine nations or one of the Asian nations. I forget which one it was, but he forgot where he was. He thought he was in America, and he has a can of paint. Started spray painting stuff on the wall. Whatever it came to be. Well, the law over in that part of the world